Let me give you one more. I'm going to pull up this video. I want you to hear what this lady says about stonewalling. I think it's a very important thing that I want to talk about just briefly. All right, let's take a listen.
In all seriousness, it is true. I was just saying something crazy because she probably gonna try to cut me off again because I don't know what's going on. But on the real note,
stonewalling is one of those things in a relationship that can be hard to define, but you know exactly how it feels when you're experiencing it. Stonewalling is an emotional abuse tactic designed to keep you from bringing up issues, to keep you from speaking the truth, and to keep them protected from having to have difficult, uncomfortable conversations. And ultimately, it is designed to keep them from having to take responsibility and accountability. And I thought,
so everybody, that's a huge one. That's a very big one. Now it's less talked about because certain words culturally we just don't use very much. That's more of a psychological mental health kind of term, stonewalling. But I can explain it to you in just very practical terms because maybe you have done it or maybe you've experienced it. Stonewalling is when there is something that needs to be addressed. It needs to be talked about and it needs to be discussed. But whether this is you or the person you are with, instead of having a conversation that is, filled with respect and empathy and understanding and compassion, the person who feels like they are at fault and who does not want to take accountability becomes kind of obstinate and they become emotionally unreceptive to what you're saying. It's almost like it's called stonewalling because it is exactly like talking to a brick wall. It's like nothing you say is getting through. They don't understand what you mean. They don't understand what you are saying. You know what I mean? They don't acknowledge or empathize with you. It's like you start to feel like maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm emotionally unstable. Maybe I'm the one who is the issue because clearly if this was a big enough problem, they would get it. So maybe the fact that they don't understand it may mean that I'm the problem. And it is a very sinister emotional abuse tactic that people use who want to get you to shut up so that they can't be held responsible. You see, in relationships where maturity is lacking and emotional intelligence is not there, the goal is never to improve the relationship. The goal is always comfort. And the truth is in any long-term, any lasting relationships, you have to be uncomfortable for a while, particularly if you're doing something or you come with behaviors that undermine the integrity of the relationship. Sometimes conversations are uncomfortable. They are uncomfortable. And if you're going to be with somebody for a long time, you have to get used to it, but you have to be compassionate enough and understanding enough to get through it. We don't want to have difficult conversations just for the sake of having them. Difficult conversations often arise because something needs to be addressed, and it's an opportunity for two people to get on the same page and to derive a solution rather than blame one another. However, the person who is stonewalling is not interested in responsibility. They're not interested in resolution. They're only interested in their own comfort. And so if this means avoiding or denying what you feel, they'll do that because there's plausible deniability here. They can literally say, well, when I was listening, you didn't tell me. And in your head, you were like, well, maybe I should have said it better. Or maybe I could have done it a better way. Maybe, I should have said it at breakfast time. Maybe I should have waited till lunch. Maybe I should have did it at nighttime. Maybe I should have scheduled some time away. It's like, no. Somebody who, listen carefully, somebody who wants to hear you will hear you, okay? I'm not saying to be inconsiderate about the time you say it, but I want to make this point clear. If somebody wants to hear you, they will hear you. Even if it means like, you know what, like you call them and they'll listen for like, 3 minutes and say, listen, I can tell this conversation is going to require more time. Give me about 20 minutes or let me call you after 5 tonight so we can really hash this thing out. What they're doing is, even though they may not be able to have the full conversation now because they genuinely care about you, they're going to make plans to sit down and to address the issue. Everybody hear this. This is important for you to understand. You cannot spend so much time ruminating about the treatment you're getting that you start to think you're crazy. Somebody who cares about you wants to hear you, and they'll show you signs that they want to hear you. Somebody who's stonewalling, now, not only do they not want to hear you, but they can't hear you. And you have to, if you're dealing with that, it may be good for you to book a relationship consult, because that's a very difficult thing that hits your self-esteem, right?